Welcome back to the Pursuit of Accuracy. I'm Josh, and today we're out here to take a look at a brand new chassis from L3I. This is the Hive chassis. Now this one is in the Remington 700 footprint. They do offer this in the CZ457 inletting. I'm going to get that later. And just to go ahead and let you know, they did send this to me for review. There's no money changing hands. I don't promise them any good review. And actually, to ensure that, I'm not alone today. I got my buddy Ricky out here. He's going to also shoot this thing, and he's going to give you his unbiased, unfiltered opinion. I told him if he absolutely hates it, if he thinks it sucks, then that's what he's going to say. Because he's not sponsored by anybody, he's not on a channel. Because I know sometimes people don't believe content creators, although honestly, there's no incentive for me to lie to you about this anyway. But yeah, outside of that, it's a chassis. It's going to do chassis things. There are a few distinct features about this we're going to talk about, specific to rimfire, that I think is a really good idea. And we'll probably get to those really specific things after we shoot a little bit. But just generically, you're going to have a full-length Arca rail, M-locks. You can change these inserts out. It's made to be super modular. One thing I noticed right away that I really liked was this fore end. It's got a nice wide fore end and this night vision bridge / control bridges. They're very low profile. I run my optics pretty close to the rail a lot of times, pretty low. And sometimes I have problems with chassis where that doesn't exactly work out. So, of course, adjustable length of pull back here. You can see there's all these little knobs. You got an adjustable bag rider, adjustable cheek piece. They have internal weights, which I'm running here, a full set, and one set of externals. So yeah, basically it's a chassis, but it doesn't mean a lot if it's not stable, if it doesn't feel good. So we're gonna throw this on the NRL prop, maybe a few other things. We're gonna shoot it at 50, maybe 100, 150 yards. And yeah, me and Ricky are gonna take turns. And we have the trigger cam on. This is the Burris XTRPS. Not going to say a lot about scope right now because that's going to be coming in a review of its own, but you're going to see what we see basically. All right, we can't seem to figure out how to, or I can't, how to record on the trigger cam while we're shooting, but what we're going to do is we're just going to shoot this off the bench here. I'm going to move this to 100. Dialed up to 100. Parallax to 100, and we're just going to look at the overall stability, how this bag sits. So I'm going to try and shoot a group. This is just the team ammo, so you guys can't see the HUD that I'm seeing. Ricky, we might be running out of excuses to miss.
I got an excuse. I can't see.
That's true. I mean, it's stacking them. See what you think.
Yeah, I'm running it dirty.
Ow. I mean, I basically feel like it's as good as a bag and bipod, damn near. Oh, I was just shooting the plate for a group. You gonna run the KYL, huh?
Yeah. Shoot one into a plate. It is stacking. It's nice.
Yeah, so I was saying before, you guys didn't see it, but there's some modularity built in this. You can see these side rails have M-lock. Well, on this side, if I flip this around, on this side here, there's M-lock plus QD. So if you're gonna run an OBI, a sights clutch, or whatever, you can run that. I mean, this thing's shooting, we're gonna go, let's just shoot it at 100 still, might as well. We're gonna go off of the pyramid prop again, and I'm turning off the recording. I'll turn it back on up there. You know, the more I shoot this prop, the less I like that this side of the prop, if that makes sense. Of course, the wind picked up. Really? Go to the plate. Oh no, maybe it's just a little low. Check the, let's check this. Okay, there we go. It was a hair low. Going down. See if we can sneak one in on this guy. All right. It's a hair low. I adjusted it up a little bit. So you should be good for what you can see anyway. You got the plate to shoot if you get lost. Wind keeps changing. The wind was completely down when we grouped it. Now the wind's back up.
They can probably see in the Tacticam that I'm everywhere. But it's not the gun, it's not the chassis.
All right, let me see what, let's see if it'll group.
To do with my form, but
Well, this is a hard, on this side for right-handed shooters, I don't like, because this hand I don't have anything to grip. I can kind of crush down on the scope. That helps a little bit, but you got a lot of input on the rifle on this thing. Let's see, I'm gonna aim at this. Okay, that was a little high. See the wind playing with it out there. Okay. Yeah, I mean, overall, yeah, it's gonna be about as steady as anything else. I hate to interrupt the outside shooting, but I wanted to bring you guys in the studio to show you this feature because I think it's that important, and it relates to magazine fitment, especially for rimfires. So we all know that when you have a magazine fitment issue, when you're talking about a Remington 700 chassis and AICS pattern magazines, you'll get magazines that fit like kind of loose. And this chassis does come with a barricade stop. However, I chose not to use it because I didn't need to. And this barricade stop prevents me from using the Remex regular extensions. Now, if you run the L3I extensions, it's not a problem. But I found that I don't need them because this feature exists. Now, we have this set up and you can see there's considerable front to back movement in this magazine. There are two T20 torque screws on this side of the chassis you can't see, but there are two on this side you can see. And all I've done is loosen them up. I insert my magazine that I want to use, and I can just push some forward pressure on that. And I'll just go ahead and start by snugging this one T20 down, and then we're going to check our fitment. So that drops free, it's nice and tight, and now as you can see, the front to back movement is gone. So even if I'm loading in a bag and I have pressure on the magazine, it's not going to cause problems, because what happens is those rounds in the magazine are lined up to go into the chamber, and when you can move this magazine backwards, what it does is it takes that nose of that bullet and it pitches it down, and then it'll run into the bottom of the chamber, and that's what causes a lot of feeding issues. So this feature in itself does basically take care of all that for you, and I thought it was really cool and a really well thought out feature. So let's get back out there. We're going to do a little bit more shooting with this so you guys can see it in action. All right, 100. Let's see where we're at. Okay, that was a hit. Okay, off left. Okay, that was off right. Wind's playing with me. There we go. See that dust? Oh, that was exactly where I aimed. It's weird. The lead dust is blowing right to left, but I'm shooting it straight up. And this is just the practice ammo in here, so not really expecting a lot out of this at 100, but this feels super solid off of this. Go ahead and give her a try, Ricky. So if you look at the top, that HUD will show you if you're off level, if you're canted, has like that digital bubble. Right. But yeah, I was having to hold it basically straight up because You see the lead dust going right to left?
Yeah.
That tricked me. I held right edge and missed off right.
That was under. That was me.
Well, this is just a team ammo too. It's not like those tested ammo for this.
Missed it.
Yeah, I heard it. All right, we're back in the studio for our final thoughts. Now, I didn't cut Ricky or his comments out of this, but the audio wasn't that great and just struggling with the camera. So back in the studio, and as it were, me and Ricky had the exact same complaints, and these are going to be really nitpicky. Now, the ARCA, the M-LOK, the low-profile control bridge, all the things that this brings from other chassis works really well, and I have no complaints about this, especially at the price point of this chassis. Now, the adjustable length of pull, no problem with that. It can go really short, really long. Great if you're going to be sharing this chassis. Adjustable bag rider, zero complaints about that. Now we're going to get into some very nitpicky stuff. And yeah, I know, guys, this is nitpicky, but this is $1,400. It's a new chassis to the market, and L3I is going to be watching this. So not only do I want you guys to hear the nitpicks I have over this, but I want to know what you guys think, if that's even a consideration for you. So we're going to start out here, and I'm not going to hold this the whole time, but the cheek riser, I actually put an MDT cheek riser on there. I'm going to put a picture up now so you can see what it comes with. Basically the same thing, but it's just a 3D printed piece that your cheek rests against. Now, I don't like that, and I had a spare MDT cheek pad here with nice laser cut foam. So I'm going to start off with that. I think L3I needs to get some laser cut foam, step their game up. I understand they're coming in a couple $100 below the rest of the market, but I think that it would be a big step up for them to get just that little bit of laser cut foam. It's going to make this a heck of a lot nicer of a shooting experience. Now, the only other complaint I had, and this was just a me complaint, me and Ricky both, we did not care for this grip. Now, I've seen other videos with different grips. This is, in fact, totally modular. So I'm not sure that if they already offer different grip options. I did not pick this out. They kind of sent it to me just like it is, the test. But if there were other options, I think I would get the other option. Now, what didn't I like about this? Well, I don't like the texture and the overall kind of sharp 90s on this grip. Now, some people will love it. For me, it's just not something I like. I have that weird shooting grip, if you guys can remember. I don't actually grab the grip. I rest my hand forward. I curl my fingers in. And when I was doing that, it was creating a hot spot on the back of the pad of my hand there. Now, this was over 300 to 500 rounds and shooting in different positions, so more shooting than you would do with it, but it is something that I noticed that at the end of the day, I would go with something different. Now, would either one of those nitpicks prevent me from buying this chassis? Absolutely not. I think it's worth the money. I think that's probably what you guys were waiting for me to say or to not say. I don't think you go wrong with that. Now, chassis are an extremely opinionated deal. There's MDT, there's MPA, there's Vision, there's all sorts of chassis out there, and they're all really good, and a lot of it comes down to personal preference. Now, the unique thing about L3I is they're a smaller company, kind of a homegrown operation, and there are people out there who, just because MDT, MPA, and those other guys exist and are huge, and they're huge marketing machines, they won't want to spend their money there. This is going to be a great option. Again, I'll say I didn't like this. I don't typically like modular grips. I kind of ultimately would prefer it had an AR style grip, because that's essentially what everything else I have runs. So this does limit me from making this similar to my other chassis. Outside of those things, I really do still like this chassis. I think it's very much so worth the money, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they go from this. Now, this does have a CZ457 inlet. We will be testing that inlet at some point. I'm not exactly sure when. But as of right now, outside of those little, very nitpicky things, I have nothing bad to say about this. I appreciate them for sending this in so that I could show it off to you guys. I appreciate you guys watching it. If you got any comments, questions, concerns, throw them down below. But as always, guys, I appreciate you watching. Catch you on the next one.